Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I've got just something completely different today, something that's very 3D, but very simple to make. I was having a big scroll through Pinterest the other day, and what kept popping up was this card or something very similar to it. They'd use heart shapes in order to produce these petals. And I wanted to do the same, but using Stampin' Up products. So let me show you how I put this together. So I'm going to do something very similar, but I'm going to have a different background. I love this woody background. This comes from the Press Petals DSP. So you've got that on one side, but you've got this on the other, and I really am running down now to my last bits and pieces of this. But it does produce a really lovely background. I'm looking for my glue. There it is. So I just want to glue this on the back. I'm not really a fan of that. I do prefer the other side. So I'm just going to, and probably if I thought about it, I would have got this stuck onto the card before I started the video. So this is a 5" by 7" card. I had some pre-scored ones kicking about, so I thought I'd use that. I'm trying to preserve my card stock. I'm kind of concerned at the moment that with COVID-19 that potentially non-essential deliveries are going to be stopped. I mean, I think that crafting deliveries are essential, but really in the grand scheme of things, they're not. So I'm just using some pre-scored ones just to save my lovely Whisper White cardstock. So got a nice background on there. Now, our in colours will soon be retiring in the next couple of months. So I want to get mine used up. Oh, that's made my light go funny. That's better. So I've got here Pineapple Punch and Grapefruit Grove. So these are our 2019, no they're not, 2018-20 in colours, and they will be retiring soon. So let's get them used up, and I'm looking for my 2 heart punches. So this is the Heart Duo Punch, and you get 2 hearts, one that's got a plain edge and one that's got a scalloped edge. And this scalloped edge is ever so slightly bigger than this, the plain edge, so you can actually layer them. And you'll see these in the mini catalogue, which is still running at the moment and will do until June. And there's the Heart Duo Punch on there. You can get it in a bundle as well, so you can get the stamp set with the heart duo punches. I didn't get the stamp set, I just went for the punches because I love a punch. Right, that to one side. So what I'm going to do is cut out, I probably only need 6, but when I put this one together I thought I needed 8, but actually I think on this one I used 10. So I'm just going to cut out 8 of each for now. Not 8 of each, 4 of each. So I'm just going to layer up the 2 cards like that. And I'm going to use a scallop edge punch for this one. And now if you don't have strong hands, do them individually. So I'm going to do that 4 times. And then if we need any more, I can punch out another 2. Yeah, you do need strong hands for that job. So there I've got 8 hearts. I've got 4 Pineapple Punch and 4 Grapefruit Grove. This is also a good scrap busting project as well if you wanted to get rid of some bits and pieces of scrap. So the next thing I want to do is score a line down the middle of those. And I found that my scoreboard was the best way to do that. You can do it however you want. You can get a ruler with a scoring tool, but what I did is I just pushed that into the corner. I just did that, not quite in the middle. So I'm going to line that up with there. Make sure that the bottom of my heart is right in that groove. And then just score it like that. can see with each video that I'm making that my nails just get worse and worse. These poor nail technicians, when we come out of lockdown, they're going to get swamped by people wanting to get their nails sorted. Okay, so with each of those, I'm just going to just fold them like that. I think this is a good project for kids during this lockdown period or during school holidays. There's the one that was a little bit off centre. So there are 8 hearts. Let's get back to my card. So what we're going to do is, whoops, just line them up. I'll show you how you're going to line them up. So we're looking at so we need a gap in between, because what I'm going to do is put a piece of glimmer paper using a 1/2 inch circle punch. And what I'm going to do is sit that in the middle like that. So what we need to do is just organise these. Make sure that they're all pointing in the same direction. The other thing that I want to do is I'm going to be using a sentiment. Let me just punch out my background just so that I've got this. Yeah, so I want that to sit there. So what I'm going to do is just move this up a little bit. Like that. Now I can assure you as well, if you're looking at this thinking, how the heck's that going to fit in an envelope? It does. It does fit in an envelope. So you're going to put those on like that, and I just want them to overlap just ever so slightly. So you're going to put those on like that, glue them down. Now just glue them, when you glue them, just in the middle there like that, not on each of these sides, because you're going to want to be tucking these in. And the other thing to make sure is that they are all pointing in the same direction. Take it from somebody who mucked this up yesterday because they weren't pointing in the same direction. And so I had a big old hissy fit, threw the card away and started again. So that is what you're looking to do. And then what will happen is that your centre will just sit right on top. So let me get those glued down and I'll show you what that looks like. So there's everything glued down. What I ended up doing was just putting a mini dimensional just in the middle, just to give me something to work around. But they're all stuck on, and I've managed to do that with 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. But if you wanted them to be, so this one is a bit tighter, and there are 10 pieces on there. So, you know, it's up to you, however you wanted to put that together. Now, I've been fiddling about with what I would have in the middle. So this is a little 1/2 inch circle from the silver glimmer paper. And so that could go on there, but it kind of feels that it's lost in there. And then I thought about this. This is from the 1 1/8 scallop circle punch, which I thought we could put in there, and it kind of flattens it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's okay, but I just think that centre is just a lot nicer. It's also covering up anything where there's a little gap down here that I wanted to cover up. So what I'm going to do is just get some glue, wet glue, all over that, and then just hold it down, and I think that looks a whole lot better. So let's get some glue on that. Then I don't want to drop this on here, I just want to place it And I think that wet glue is probably the best glue for that. This wet glue that's made by Tombow, this goes nowhere. Once it's stuck down, that's it. It's going nowhere. So we're going to hold that down on there. And then what we're going to do is then produce a sentiment. I'm just going to hold that on while I show you what I'm going to do with the sentiment. So I've been trying to decide what sentiment to use. So I've got the Botanical Bliss. This is quite an old stamp set now, but it's still going. It's still current. And this is for a birthday card, and I just want to use that happy birthday sentiment. I'm still clinging on to the centre of this flower. So I'm going to stamp that, and I'm going to use black. I'm not using any other colours for this. I'm going to use a bit of black, and I'm going to do a 2-layered label, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Am I brave enough to take this off? Yes. So that's sticking there. Let's put that to one side for now. Just hope that doesn't ping off. I don't think it's going anywhere. So if I'm going to make a 2-layer label, let's get my Grapefruit Grove, and what I want to do is punch this but halfway down. Can you see I've only put only filling half of that space there, and I'm going to do that twice. So that's in the yellow, in the orange Grapefruit Grove, and then I'm going to do a full one in the Pineapple Punch. Like that. And then what we're going to do on this card, we're going to glue down this one, the Grapefruit Grove, and just leaving a gap. And then what will happen is, once I've stamped this, we'll put that on there like that, and it gives it a bit of a border. So let's glue those down first, and then I'll get the sentiment on my... It's holding up, isn't it? It's definitely holding up. Now, usually for my projects, I do a blog post, and I haven't for this one. So what I'm going to do is just put the links to all of these products in the description bar, and then if you wanted to purchase any of these, they all go, directly to my shop. Oh, I'm putting dimensionals on this. I haven't even stamped anything on it. Right, so there's our Pineapple Punch, and I'm going to get my stamp. So there's my happy birthday stamp from the Botanical Bliss. And I've got an ink block here somewhere. So I'm just going to use black ink for this. That's too high up. I don't know why when I stamp things, they're always too high. Just one of those things, I suppose. See, to me that looks like it's going to be too low, and it's actually in the middle. So let's get back to that. This now has not worked. That's really annoying. So I need to think of a plan B. So it sticks down, and then these are pushing it up. So we need a plan B. Only on camera, obviously. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to put a few dimensionals around it and see if that helps. Right, let's put that to one side for a moment. Let's get this middle of this flower sorted. Now, dimensionals are also super sticky, so we'll see if that's any better. So in my original card, and that black dot is, no, that's come off now as well, so that's why I wanted something bigger. It's these petals that are pushing it up. I will solve this. Right, let's give this another go. So holding those down So this has got 4 mini dimensionals on it. That feels far more secure. Let's see how that goes while we just finish this off. Give that a good press down. Okay, so I want to use dimensionals for this as well. I want this to stand up a little bit. That sentiment's a bit on the plain side, but I feel that this card is all about that. I don't know if I would have done that in a different ink. I don't know. It's all about experimenting, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And you would have your own ideas as to, you know, how you want to decorate this. I'm fighting with a dimensional that's stuck on the end of my finger and can't get it off. That's it. So very carefully lining this up, because as soon as these dimensionals hit this cardstock, it's going to stick. And there we have it. That is holding up brilliantly. So something very different to what I've made before. No stamping apart from this, but just using some cardstock that I just need to get used up, and colours that I don't normally use, and just something very pretty, something to brighten up somebody's birthday, especially at the moment. If somebody's got a birthday at the moment and they're having to isolate, this is, you know, it's horrendous, isn't it? So, you know, to receive something like this that's bright and cheerful on a birthday when we're in lockdown. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I'll be back again very soon with another project. See you all again. Bye bye.